Howdy folks, Grebner here with Grebner Outdoors. For a number of years now, I've been laboring under the delusion that I'm a filmmaker and that I make outdoor films. And in fact, I am Grebner of Grebner Outdoors. Now, as a one-man crew, it can be very difficult to film a hunting show because I have a limited amount of money, I have a limited amount of time, and I have a limited amount of acreage that I can actually hunt. And so, as you've seen in the past, very few things actually go right. The point is, minimize your liability, because there's only so many things that you can control in the woods, and there's a lot of things that you can't. And so this year, I'm going to be using the Garmin Virb mounted to a bow, supplemented of course by a Samsung H200 camera to film hunts with. Now, I do a lot of research and development, figuring out what doesn't work, what does work, because when I actually get out there, I want to be able to focus on the hunt rather than, is my shit gonna hold up? And so I'm going to show you and tell you how to make a camera mounting bracket for filming your hunts, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to actually successfully mount a Garmin Virb onto your archery equipment. This year I have invested in a set of Garmin Virb action cameras. They're very streamlined, they're very ruggedized. I've had them for about 5 days now and haven't broken them, which when you're Grebner, that tends to happen unless you have good gear. But before I go any further, I want to say that if the Virb is out of your price range, this is the head of a Targus tripod from Walmart for about 17 bucks. A coarse threaded bolt that fits my auxiliary mounting brackets on the bow that I have taken and JB welded with a washer on top into the Targus tripod head. I have a short bolt for mounting in this hole, and then I have a long bolt for mounting in that hole. However, the Virb does not use a traditional camera mount screw like this. It uses a cradle mount like this. Now, how would you go about attaching a Virb to a recurve? Recurves are easy to attach camera mounts to because they're generally lighter, even with cameras, than a compound bow covered in a bunch of shit that you generally don't need, but you have on your bow anyway, and that's fine. But it's very easy to attach camera mounts to a recurve because the auxiliary holes are already still open. The top auxiliary bolt is right there on the side of the riser. Now, inside of the adhesive tape cup bracket, I have drilled out for a stabilizer sized bolt to fit through, and then I countersunk it, and then I pulled the bolt out, sanded it smooth with a grinder, and then ran it back in. Now, with that done, I ran into a problem that was easily fixed. There are locking teeth that I had removed, which is why you see that I have skateboard grip tape in there. And the way that this works is you have your bracket, you have your other bracket, and you simply position it where you want, and then screw it together. On the lower bracket, I have it mounted where a traditional stabilizer would be. And here you see the Virb action camera actually mounted. Now the Virb has a fisheye style of lens, so it has an incredibly wide field of view. Very rugged camera. I haven't broke it yet, which is definitely saying something. And with a recurve, you could definitely do this with a compound bow as well, but simply taking the existing threaded bushings in the riser and then countersinking out for the riser screw or riser bolt to go through the cup mount. Simple, rugged, and reliable. And the footage that you get out of a Virb, while the audio quality is very sensitive, the footage is mind-blowing. Here you see both cameras mounted on the bow, in the cradle mounts, threaded onto their cup mounts. You've seen the footage, 1080p. I'm actually very impressed, and I very much hope that this video is helpful to any of you young filmmakers in providing you with the information to make good hunting film. But don't forget, if the Virb is out of your price range, you can make your own robust and reliable camera mounts that will screw into a riser as long as you do it correctly like I explained. The only thing that I don't particularly care for about the Garmin Virb is that it takes a micro SD card, so I had to go out and buy some of those. But I am actually impressed with the Garmin Virb, and a big thank you to Mr. Tim Wells, an Illinois native of Relentless Pursuit on outdoor television programming, for turning me on to the Garmin Virb. And I have to say, thus far, in my testing of it, it gets my approval. So, for what Tex Grebner of Tex Grebner Outdoors opinion is worth, it's worth the money. I hope this video has been helpful to you. As always, God bless all my sportsmen of America. Join the NRA to protect our rights. Please check out my friends over at legallyconcealed.org. Thank you very much to those of you involved in law enforcement and those of you serving in the military. Thanks for watching Tex Grebner Outdoors.